Welcome to Mining Review Africa, and we are coming to you from DRC Mining Week 2025, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary. And today I'm speaking to Gigi Palmi of TMW. Gigi, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's start with what motivated you to start your own engineering company in the DRC, and what has your journey been like thus far?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say that as a Congolese person, it was for me, how can I say this clearly? It was for me actually the aim since I was young to actually have my own business into the Congo. I started in South Africa. I studied in South Africa after my journey as a student in Johannesburg, where I graduated from Rand Afrikaans University, an Afrikaans university actually, in Joburg, in electrical engineering and computer science. We started a company with my wife into the engineering field, electrical engineering field in South Africa. And then we actually been there initially for 10 years before actually start the business here into the Congo. Okay. So being a Congolese and having that skills that I actually acquired for South Africa pushed me actually to come back home to establish a company locally here and bring my expertise back home so that I can bring my contribution to the Congolese community. That's one of the things that actually pushed me to come into South Africa. I started TMW, which today is a well-known company into the mining sector.
Okay, that's an interesting journey there. Yeah. But can you tell me what specific services do you offer to the DRC mining sector, and how does this differentiate you from your competitors?
Okay, as I mentioned, I'm an engineer, so I wanted to stay in the field of engineering. We provide in the Congo electrical engineering services. We provide mechanical engineering services and industrial engineering services. The aim when I started working here in the DRC is because I saw that there was a big gap in the market in servicing the mines. If you consider places like where Sasol is, or Middelburg, where you see a lot of the mines in South Africa, you see that those areas full of technical companies that are actually providing technical services to the mine. Back home here in the Congo, when you go to the mining areas, usually they are very far, the mines are isolated, and even in cities like Kolwezi, you actually find it very hard to find engineering services company that provide that support to the mines. This is where we actually saw a gap in the market, and we decided actually that we're going to be there and provide that services. That actually what differentiates us, because we don't only provide supply them a product, but we go to the mine, we find the problem that they have, and we solve those problems, and the product that we're providing to the mine are actually made such a way that we can solve a problem that we saw in the mine. So we see ourselves more like a partner to the miners. Yeah. We're a partner to them more than just a supplier. Wow. So that actually what makes us different. That's what actually made our company to grow very well here in the Congo.
Okay. Now, you touched earlier on about some of the challenges that one faces when dealing with mining companies. But as a local company, what are some of the challenges that you face when dealing with particularly the major mining companies, and how are you able to overcome these?
The problem that we have as local companies is that we have to bid and deal with a lot of international companies that actually bidding against us. True that we have the RSP, as we call it.
Yes.
Okay. So the local contents that actually help us as a Congolese company, but the fact that what I'm talking here is for the product point of view, because in a mine there's two sections. There's two procurement side that happen. We have a contract side, which is more they keep it for local companies, and then you have this product supply, which is actually open to international companies. So big mines, as you know, they have big procurement officers, mainly in Johannesburg. And I mean, yeah, not the Chinese mine maybe, but the other mines, mainly in Johannesburg. And then from there, they actually have thousands of suppliers. Some of the suppliers, they have actually better preferential pricing to OEMs.
Right.
That us as local companies, we don't. So when you're dealing with companies that wish getting a price with discounts like 20%, 30%, 40%, when it happens, against us in the DRC that they don't know us in the same way, that's a major challenge. But sometimes not easy to beat those companies that are staying in South Africa, or some of them in Europe or China, and so on. So those are the major challenges that we're having in a procurement point of view.
Okay, interesting. Now, you spoke earlier on about your journey that started in South Africa and then all the way back home to the DRC. So tell me, how does the company contribute to the development of local expertise and also the creation of jobs for locals?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons actually that I came back in the Congo, because, you know, we have our people here, but training-wise, the problem. We don't have, at the time of our parents, where they used to have those big schools where they were training artisans.
Right.
Okay, you have engineers that come out of schools, but the practicality as engineers, or that training that we get in university, like in South Africa or other advanced countries, we don't have them here. So it's a big problem, because that's why you see actually many companies to take foreign entities, although we have a very big level of unemployment in the country. So for us, we decided that we're going to come here, we will provide that training. All our OEM that we represent in the Congo, one of the reasons when we negotiate our contract is that they have to provide training to the Congolese engineers that we hired. So we have young engineers that we hired, some of them that studied in South Africa, some of them that studied here in the DRC, that speaks English. We put them on an intense training program where they go to Europe or to South Africa, so that they can become better engineers. Same with the artisan, where every time that we get people that come from outside the DRC, when they come work here, they have a training plan where we want to develop our own people, so that first of all, it makes our projects cheaper. It makes our tenders cheaper than just using international expats that are very expensive. So that's one of the reasons that one of the things that I would say that we've been successful in building capacity locally. I can say that we pride ourselves on the number of people that we've trained, that we brought here from overseas, Congolese, to come here, that we train, that we manage to build, and we keep on building them. So that, I hope I answered your question.
Sure, absolutely. And to follow up on that about, building a local workforce, boosting the economy, what is the message that you'd like to share with authorities and other players in the mining sector to better support Congolese companies like TWM?
Yeah. First of all, I should say that we should be grateful for what we have first, before most of the people complain and keep complaining. I think the respect that came here helps us a lot. I've been in this country, although my company has been running for the past 8 years, but I've seen, for the past 20 years I've been coming in the DRC doing business here from South Africa. And I saw that things have changed a lot, in the sense that we've been considered as local. Yeah. And also, I think many people start coming back because of the local content regulation that the government has put in place. But one thing that I believe that going to make it even better is the support in terms of putting into place Congolese banks, or banks, or regulations to the banks, where they should see local company being better supported. Yeah. Because without banks, most of the young company that comes that do not have cash flow, they may find themselves with purchase orders. But if there is no proper structure that's going to help them to actually deliver, it's actually very much impossible. That's why we see there's a lot of actors coming from outside, coming in the DRC, benefiting into that regulation. Of course, there are local companies, but I believe that that law was made to empower local Congolese people. So somewhere along the line, I believe that it's important to look into it. And to see, I'm talking like this because I'm myself coming from there. Starting from as a one-man show to the company that we built today. So I know the difficulties of most of our people, and I believe that there must be a certain level of support in that level, on that point. And also, another point is we need to, for the mine point of view, there is a regulation normally that the mine must support actually local companies with advance payment of 30%. We don't always see that happening. I'm not only talking about myself, because I believe that we built a strong company, but when I look at all the youngsters are coming that are eager to do businesses with the mine that don't always have the capacity, a financial capacity to do things. Although there are very good Congolese that are very serious, that are willing to do proper work that they've been doing outside the country, they don't want to do yet. But they find themselves actually trapped because of the fact that they don't receive that advance payment, which is low actually. So I believe that if we can, most of the mine can support that. There's few mines like Kamoa that actually is still doing it. Actually, I think that it's the only one. But if the other mines can actually start putting that also into respecting that law, the regulation, I would say, if it can be actually followed, I would say use that word followed. I believe that they're going to help a lot of these young companies that are coming, that actually want to do businesses there and benefit from our mines. Because end of the day, most of us only have the DRC. Actually, we don't have other countries, other places to go. But if you look at the structure, the way it is, really, who's really benefiting from the local content, I wouldn't really see as true that I'm one of them, that we are benefiting. But what I'm talking about, based on the number of people that we have in this country, I think that if you can look at the option, banks, support from the banks and support from the mines, okay, and especially a local bank, a Congolese bank, okay, it makes a big difference. I think if we can have that, that's going to make a big difference as well for us as local. A bank that is actually made so that they can support locals, because it's normal if you go to any other banks, which I benefit from banks. I won't tell you the contrary, okay? If you go to any other bank, they will look at any risk, which is normal because they're there for business. But a national bank that's actually going to be there to support with the aim of giving that support to local, I think that can make a big difference on our structure and build capacity of Congolese, because we need it.
Absolutely. One final question. As mentioned, this is the 20th year that we are hosting DRC Mining Week. What are some of the highlights of the show that you can remember? And also tell me about how exhibiting at this event has benefited your company.
I would say that the DRC Mining Week, I think this is our 5th year that we've been exhibiting. And then we started as very small stand, and today we have it's got a big stand now. The reason is because we see that it's very much beneficial for us, in the sense that it's a place that we come to network, meet people, meet the decision makers, exhibit our product, get our brand known to the mining community. So I believe that it has been very positive, and I think that we're going to keep on coming.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. Well, Gigi Palmi of TMW, thank you very much for joining us on Mining Review Africa today.
Thank you.